other than to support my friend, Tony Hernandez. So, I have a brief intro that I'd like to give Tony. First of all, it was free to get in, correct? Okay, promise you get your money's worth on this. So I'd like to give you a preview of what you're about to experience tonight. It's something that you probably have never experienced before, but I can't tell you what it's going to be because I have no idea what's about to happen. I literally have no clue. So I will tell you this though. I have not officially endorsed this. I have no idea what's going to happen, but Mr. Bill Horn has officially endorsed this. The administration of Milton High School has endorsed this comedy show. I've also heard that it was sponsored by President Donald Trump, his predecessor, Barack Obama, and also Antonio Banderas, and the guy that played Batman the last time there was a Batman movie. You know him by birth name as Anthony, not Antonio Banderas, Anthony Randall Hernandez. I call him Tony, but most of you know him as the Fez. Let's bring him down here right now.
Hello everyone. I have no idea why you guys all came. It's not like I'm very funny. I didn't prepare anything for today. Thought it was gonna be a joke. Bill would just let me do it. Let me get my breath. I sprinted. I haven't ran like that since cross country. Well, before I start, I want to say thank you to Mr. Bill Horn for letting me do this. I don't know why he let me do this. This is weird. Thank you, Mr. Yaup, for being here. All right, Yaup's here for a few reasons. One, he's moral support, because I did not think it'd be funny tonight. Two, because he needs to censor me, because we don't really trust him. And three, the main reason why he's here is to make sure there were no goats in the perimeter of the high school. So, that's why there's no goats tonight. So I guess I really want to explain first why people call me Fez. Alright, so I was in 8th grade. If you knew me at all in grade school, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, or 8th, you know my main joke was the color of my skin, or my nationality. I'd always bring up the fact that I'm Mexican, if it wasn't obvious. So, I was sitting with my new friends, Sean Arvitine, Kappa, Drew, Aiden Cromwell, and Tucker Dunk. He tried to be cool. We were all sitting at my lunch table, and then they were like, we're one big happy family. Well, I said, I'm surrounded by white people. So I said, I'm adopted. And then Drew Jordan said, no, you're not adopted, you're the foreign exchange student. You're Fez. And that's when it all started. Everybody started calling me Fez at the table. I told Brett Brandenburg and Ben Maldonado to call me Fez, and it just went on. And now everybody called me Fez, even teachers. The first teacher I had, Mrs. Hamill in high school, I told her, Mrs. Hamill, she said, Anthony Randall Hernandez. I said, it's a red Anthony, pronounced Fez. And ever since then, she just started calling me Fez. Yeah, well, so a couple of weeks ago, around May 6th, I think, there was a little thing called prom. It's pretty expensive. So I had some money. It's your fault, Taylor. So I was given some money. I had some money in the bank. Around, I don't know, $200. Don't ask me how I got that money. I don't have a job. Whatever. So I went to spend, I don't know, a bunch of stuff. And, well, the next day I went to the bank and I was like, I wonder how much I have. I went to the bank and it was so weird. I've never seen parentheses around money. And it said $45 in parentheses. So I was like, wow, the bank is protecting me because I'm broke. And so I was like, well, I'm not going to spend this $45. A week later, I owe the bank $45. So that was a long conversation with my dad. All right, let's
You're fired.
Dang. Well, okay. So, many of you know that earlier this year, I went through a hard time. I went through like this problem that was hurting my family and my friends, pushing people away. And sorry, I don't want to get too sensitive, but people like hated riding me in the car because I would never stop doing this addiction. And I finally quit the addiction, and then a week later, I got back on it, and then I was still addicted though. And like, it was a couple months went by, I couldn't stop doing this thing, and then finally I quit. Finally quit officially the horrible addiction. And then a couple days ago, I hung out with Drew Jordal and Molly Wanless, and they got me hooked again. I can't stop listening to Hamilton. It's playing all the time in my car. It's too, oh my gosh, you don't even know. Hey Mason. Wow, I need a script because I got a little nervous. It literally just says hats on it. Well, there's a pretty funny person in my family. I don't know, my parents could talk about him for hours. My grandpa, my mom's dad. He's a weirdo. But before I talk about grandpa, my brother and I, when we lived together, he's older now, he's an adult, doing adult things, paying taxes, hopefully. Well, my brother and I are chunky people, so we're able to do things and sounds that other chunky or other skinny people can't do. I can't move like this. Like one sound I'd always do with my brother. Another one. But my face has to be like not smiling. But my brother, he mastered the ultimate gun. We used to play guns, and the house was like pew pew pew. My brother had a machine gun. The longest time, I had to get a little bit more chunkier. Now I'm chunkier than my brother, and I can do it really well. So we're sitting in the living room, and my grandpa's just like watching me and my brother like interact with each other. It's like I haven't seen him in a while. We hadn't hung out in a long time until my grandpa showed up. He was sitting in the living room. My brother and I, we just pulled out our machine guns. The funniest thing ever. My grandpa is the smallest and most frailest person you'll ever see, but he's the biggest stomach. But whatever. He can't move fast. So his gun, he pulls it, he saw us, he pulls it out. And I'm just like, dude, you would die. My grandpa, oh, hey, Mike. My grandpa, am I loud enough with the mic? No. Okay. I don't know the mic. Whatever, I'm loud enough. My grandpa, ooh, that's really loud. My grandpa, he likes to tell a lot of stories. See, my show is called If I'm Lying and Crying. My grandpa's crying all the time, because all these are lies. No doubt about it. One time my grandpa was telling me about how he killed the chupacabra. If you know the chupacabra is like this dog, zombie dog from Mexico, whatever. And of course, whatever. So, supposedly, I should have known it was a lie right away, because my grandpa said he was running in the woods. My grandpa doesn't run. He can really walk to the bathroom. So, should have believed it. And my grandpa said he was using a revolver to shoot the chupacabra. He was running, he saw the chupacabra, he turned around and started shooting like this. Another clue that it was a lie, because you don't shoot revolvers like this. This one time, I went to MFR with my grandpa. And my grandpa, he comes from Mexico, obviously he's used to authentic Mexican meals unlike Cozumel and Hacienda. Don't even get me started on Taco Bell. You know how many people say that's Mexican food? It's not. But whatever. So, my grandpa related this thing called caldo de pescado. It's like fish soup. And it sounds weird when you're Mexican, it's delicious. My dad hates it because of the bones. Whatever. So we went to this restaurant, we went to MFR, super far away from my house, you know where I live. 3 steps. So we walked those 3 steps, my grandpa's out of air. He's done. And we sat down, and he saw one Mexican waitress, and automatically my grandpa like called her over, started talking to her about like his stuff in Mexico. He's talking in Spanish, going on and on, talking about how he was a cowboy, shot the chupacabra and all this stuff. And the lady's just looking at him, and she's like, and she looks at me, what is he saying? And I'm like, he just assumed you were able to speak Spanish. And then he kept asking for caldo de pescado. And I'm like, Grandpa, they don't sell that here. And it's, mind you, this is 4 p.m. My grandpa's like, then what do they sell? And I said, they have cereal. Because that's the only thing I could explain to him what it was. And he was like, Alright, I'll have some Fruit Loops. So we gave him Fruit Loops at 4 p.m. while I ate this meaty steak. And I made him pay. It's embarrassing. My grandpa has this weird thing about movies. He only likes to watch movies with a guy named Armando Amada. He's kind of like the Sylvester Stallone for Mexicans, except really old and he's a Western shooting guy. Those movies are awful. But my grandpa, he hates movies where it's white dominant, which is every movie in the United States. It's a hard time. I was trying to, what movie was it? I was trying to watch? Whatever. Oh, it was Superman. The original Superman. I thought he would like it because it's old. My grandpa said, turn it off. There's no Mexicans. It's Mexican oppression. It's only white. This white guy's acting like he's Jesus. I'm like, it's not what's happening, Grandpa, but all right, I don't want to play with it. So I put this random Mexican movie. It's called Chavo. Well, then later I was watching a movie called The Predator. The Predator has an actor called Danny Trejo. I watched it because he's a Mexican. Danny Trejo dies in the first 6 minutes of the film. And my grandpa flipped out. He was like, this is racism, oppression. But I'm like, Grandpa, it can't be. The movie stars Russians, Asians, Mexicans, and black people, and is directed by a Mexican. So it can't be racist. But my grandpa said, turn it off. The only white film, sorry, not white film, the only film that people watch stars Leonardo DiCaprio. It's like Titanic. But he only watches the last 15 minutes. That's what gets him going. So for my family, I'm the translator a lot of times. My cousins and my dad speak English and Spanish, but most of the time I'm the one translating. So I help my grandpa once in a while when he goes to the hospital or whatever, and I'm going translating. I don't know why they choose me though, because I suck at Spanish. So it's whatever. Because one time, I swear they were talking about his stomach. Turns out they're talking about his throat. And I translated it completely wrong to my grandpa, and he got a little scared. So I like to talk to my grandpa in English, and he will not understand anything I say, and he'll just start talking to me as if he knows. I'll be talking about Power Rangers, and he'll be preaching to me about God. That's the funniest thing. Yeah, my grandpa, he's a character. All right. So my grandpa, he told me one time, a good idea to hit on a girl is just grab her and kiss her. I'm like, Grandpa, that is rape. But whatever. But like, the thing is, I started thinking about it. I was like, I've done weird things to hit on a girl. Like this one time, I pretended I had clones. So whenever I would mess up, I'd be like, oh, that was my clone, man. Don't worry about it. Shut up, team. Second grade, I pretended I had superpowers. And they're like, oh, show us your superpowers. So I picked up a rock and threw it and hit her in the stomach. It's not exactly what I was trying to do. Whatever. This one time I got super nervous when I was texting a girl, and I accidentally said, instead of saying hey like a normal person, I texted moo. Yeah, that's not how you get the ladies, I found out. The best story is though, 7th grade. Yeah, 7th grade, it was the Valentine's dance. I pretended to have a heart attack. See, when I was in 7th grade, I dramatized a lot of the stuff. My brother had convinced me that I had heart problems and I was going to die in 100 days. So I didn't tell my parents, because why would I? I was a weirdo. They would have explained to me right away that I'm not dying. But no, I had to wake up one morning and my brother told me I was going to die. So, you know her, she's a little person. Whatever. So as a dad, I pretended I had a heart attack and a seizure at the same time. And it did not go well. Her sisters, I've never seen her sister so angry. Actually, that was the first time I've ever seen her sister. So I guess that wasn't I'm telling you, these are the tiniest people ever. So like, why would I be scared? I'm like gigantic. She came up to me, she's like, never talk to my sister again. And I never talked to her again until this year. Another heart attack. So it was so quiet. We're on the bus to Indiana. I was trying to talk to this one girl, and I was giving stories. But like, I ran out of stories to tell her. So I started Googling stories. And it did not go well, because the stories that I was Googling made me look like a worse person. There was this one story, I didn't even read it. I remember just copying and pasting and sending it away. Turns out at the end of the story, I was arrested for being naked in my backyard. It did not go well with her.
That's a problem to me.
Okay, so I had a hard time before taking anyone to my house, because I thought my parents would embarrass me. But like, I don't know why, my mom can't speak English. Just kidding, mother. No, but I just thought This one time we were talking, and we used to fight all the time. This was 4th grade. I remember this one time he said, "You're the smartest, dumbest person I know." And I took it to heart. I was like, "Come on, take it to heart." And I remember flipping his table, not the table, his plate of food. He got really mad. I was like, "Dude, you're not gonna do anything with your life. You're just gonna be like a lazy bum and not make any money." And he's like, "Oh yeah, you'll see. I'm gonna stack of library cards. You throw them at me." He's like, "I want to make these library cards into credit cards." I'm like, "What? What does that mean? Library cards to credit cards? Just say you're gonna make a lot of money, because credit isn't money you have. Debt you're gonna have. Or whatever he wants to do, am I right? He wants to date a married woman, he can date a married woman. Well, I don't make my parents angry very often. Right, Mom? But when I do, it's because I do something very, very dumb. The first time, you guys know Evan Berg, right? Well, 8th grade, I broke the pipe in his house. Oh my gosh, I can't believe this happened. I pooped in the toilet, flushed it 11 times, and all the piping shattered and everything. He had to move. But good thing he moved from the tiny house he was living in. He started living in that mansion, and then he moved again, whatever. Yeah, my parents were not happy. Another time where I really made my parents mad, kindergarten. I wasn't known as a troublemaker yet. My brother was one who was getting in trouble. My sister was always getting yelled at. But kindergarten, you can't get anything to get in trouble, get suspended. Unless you throw Belinda Ferguson in the trash. But she called me by my name, and I got angry. So, I don't know, man. I'm weird. Back to the I pooped in a lot of weird places. During the show, we were at Craig. I'm used to the men's being on the left side. Craig is not like that. I walked into the girls' bathroom, went to the first toilet, I pooped in the stall. And I spent a good 30 minutes there because I'm on my phone texting jello to everyone. And nobody ever responds or whatever. But yeah, so I'm chilling there for 30 minutes. Nobody ever came through, so I just walked out, went back in to wipe, and then went back out again. And then I went to the show choir, like everything, all the events happened. Then I had to go to the bathroom again. I went to the same location. And then I was like, oops, almost walked into the girls' bathroom, turned around, walked into the boys. I see the line of urinals, and that's when it hit me. I was like, I just crapped in the girls' bathroom. And I remember running out of there and just telling everyone, guys, I pooped in the girls' bathroom. And I've never seen Mr. Minor, the choir teacher, laugh so hard. His face was red. He was bending down. He was laughing at me, pointing at me like a little kid. And it never made Pierce laugh either until that. That was crazy. Oh, me and Pierce. It's pretty huge. Oh, Pierce and I don't have a very good relationship. Most of you know the story. He kicked me out of color guard. Just kidding. So, I was too embarrassed to do color guard in front of everybody in the school, so I decided to do what everyone does. Quit before the first show. So I quit before the first show, and I didn't think he would notice. I don't know why I thought that. When you don't see a chubby Mexican in the middle of the field, I was supposed to be in the middle. Why I tried it. Yeah, he would easily have noticed. He came to my study hall, and he just yelled at me in front of everyone. He just went off about how he's so disappointed in me. He's like, "Do you have anything to say?" I was like, "I quit band." It didn't go well either. Now Pierce is my study hall teacher. We had some fun times in there. This one time, I went to go visit a college. I went to go visit Olivet. And I came back and I had like a free day. I had my pass. And I went to turn it in because I would forget the next day and I don't know if it marked absent. So I turned into the school. I parked in the teacher's parking lot every day. I ran through there, and our study hall is right there in the lunchroom. Also was over there. And I'm running, went to the office, turned into my slip. I got excused. I wanted to mess with Pierce so bad. So I sat back down in the study hall and waited for him to do a roll call. I sit right next to the doors, so I can easily dash out. I parked right next to the wrestling room. Everything was going. So we're all sitting there. I'm seeing Brett, Jordan Volk, Spencer Hammer, and some other person. Belk. says Fez, he calls me Fez now. That means our relationship's getting better. But now, after this, he hates me again. As soon as he said Fez, I got up and dashed through those doors, got in my car, drove in reverse, waved at him, and drove away. He ran out those doors and followed me like, for a little bit. He kept yelling, "Come back to the school," and I left. I couldn't get in trouble because I was excused. I was golden. I wasn't worried about anything. So, if you knew me my sophomore year, I was obsessed with Disneyland. I wanted to work there so bad until I found out you had to be, I think, under 6'3". Oh, I'm only 6 feet, so that's not a problem. Never mind. Just kidding. Well, you also had to be a little bit more skinnier, a little bit more slim. I'm not slim. So I couldn't work at Disneyland, but I knew this is what I wanted to do. I was like, once I get my license, I'm going to drive to Florida and work at Disneyland. Well, that failed because I didn't get my license till the 4th try. So, didn't go to Disneyland. Then I got a new dream job. I wanted to become a knight. I wanted people to call me Sir Fez. Whatever. Turns out I can't be a knight because I'm Mexican. You have to be European to be knighted. I met a guy from jail once. I was talking to him about anything normal, like college. So I was talking to this guy in jail. Found out he was in there for 20 years, and in the state of Wisconsin, there's 4 ways you can go in jail. Molesting a child, first-degree murder, second-degree murder, tax evasion. And I was talking to this guy, and the guy was like, "Yeah, count tax evasion out, because I had no money ever." So he was in there for one of those other 3 reasons. Didn't want to find out. Well, it turns out this guy, he didn't let prison hold him back. He got a doctorate in philosophy. But I'm thinking, what are you going to do with philosophy in jail? Like, what are you going to do? Somebody's going to come shank you? You're like, "Dude, how do you know that knife's not real?" I guess he could stay in his own life. But I don't know. And then, I feel like philosophy isn't a job, something you can study. I mean, you can study it, but what job can you get? Right? One time I was at my friend's house, and I went to go pick up scissors. It's Miles Jorgensen. He kept me back. He wouldn't let me leave. I told him I needed to go in and out. He wouldn't let me leave. He made me watch the WNBA with him. The Women's National Basketball, whatever. I don't know what the A stands for. So I was sitting there, and he's making me watch it till halftime. He's like, "Dude, why are you such in a rush? Dude, just watch it. It's so cool. I bet if the NBA wasn't on TV, you'd watch this." I'm like, "I doubt it." I was like, just because you replace something that's super cool with something that's all right, doesn't mean I'm going to go for the all right. No offense to women's sports. Just kidding. That's like saying, a couple years ago, I'd be like saying, now that Michael Jackson's dead, I'll start listening to Jermaine Jackson. But nobody says that. Alright, so you guys didn't get that, so I'm going to go with something more recent. When Prince died, it's not like people said, "I'm going to go listen to Jermaine Jackson." Overall, Jermaine Jackson is awful. But yeah, I don't know. NBA, I don't watch that either. Oh my gosh, there was this girl. Sorry, I thought I was talking to Killian for a second. So, Killian, actually come up here. I need a box here. Okay, so there's this girl I was dating. She used to mispronounce names all the time. She's called Kid Cudi, Kid Kudai. Chewbacca. I remember she said Chewbacca. No, Chewbacca. She would say it like a cow. I was like, he's not a chewy cow. But I never said anything. I never bothered about it until she said the word GIF. It's not GIF. It's GIF. The G stands for graphic. Huh? Oh. I thought I was going to die for a second. GIF stands for graphics. And so when she finally said GIF, I flipped. I'm like, it's not GIF, it's GIF. I'm not going to go buy you a Jolden Retriever. I'm not going to get a Joel Fish. It's not A, B, C, D, E, F, J. It's G. GIF. And yeah, it went downhill after that after I yelled at her. So I was working on a school project. And this guy, man, he complains about everything. And I got really annoyed. He's like, "This school got us working like slaves." And I'm like, "Whoa, bro, you gotta calm down a little bit." He's like, "We've been working on this project for 8 hours. I want to go home." And I'm like, "Well, dude, we kind of just spent 5 hours talking about about Steve Harvey's mustache. So, we're not really working like slaves. But then I got thinking, what do the Egyptians think? Like, what could they say? Because it'd be kind of redundant saying we're working like slaves, because they're slaves. So I guess one guy had got mad when they're building the pyramid. Just flipped out and was like, dude, the guy was working like, and he has to like look around, like everybody else, because there's nothing else. I do a few sports. The only one I care about, obviously, is cross country. I ran those miles like no one else, super slow. I was reading about a guy named Andrew Luck. I watched the video. I don't know if you guys know him. He's a football player. I don't really know anything about football, to be honest. But I saw he was what's it called? They were offering a $100 million contract to him to sign on with his team. And then the reporter was like, do you think Andrew Luck will take it? And the guy was like, he has 100 million reasons why he needs to take it. So I'm like, I like that. Can I do that? Can I use that? He uses that, I can use it. So my friend Ian and his friend Bryce come up to me and they're like, hey dude, you want to go to Six Flags? I'm like, look man, I love to indulge you, but I got negative 45 reasons why I can't. Alright, that's good. We can go down. You got any OJ fans here? Come on, be proud. Any OJ fans? He's a good football player. Can't lie about that. I like OJ. He's a pretty good fan. I have a friend. He's hardcore about the universe. Like the universe made me want to do this or whatever. The universe makes my like fate or like everything. So if he gets in a car accident, he justifies it. It's like saying, instead of getting mad like I wouldn't get in a car accident when I got hit, he's like, no worries, man. The universe is just telling me I need to be calm. That's so weird. That's such a weird justification. That's like OJ saying he killed his ex-wife to justify that he needs to move on. So I got invited to Ford's prom, and I was super excited to go last year. I was wearing a hat. I got a new hat. I was like, dude, I look fly as a fly. And so I went to the fort, I went to the prom, and I went to the door, and they had a security guy. And the guy was like, whoa man, you can't come in here, you're wearing a hat. No hats allowed. And I would have been like a normal person, and be like, okay, I'll put it in my car. But no, the guy was wearing a top hat. What a hypocrite. So I got really mad. I was like, you can't tell me I can't wear a hat in here while you're wearing a hat. And the guy just looked at me, he's like, go put your hat away. I was like, no. That's like O.J. Simpson kicking out Chris Brown from the Hating Women Club. Hypocrite. I'm sorry. Like O.J. once said, you miss 100% of the stabs you don't take. My favorite drink is Canada Giraffe. Okay, so have you guys ever had that ginger ale? I got obsessed with it because I went to New York once, and that was the drink I stole. They later offered us some, but I was obsessed with it because it would bring me back memories. It was sophomore year. It would bring me back memories of drinking Canada Giraffe. What was ironic is I make fun of Canada to like no end. And so I can't drink Canada Dry anymore because it's Canada, so I just get normal ginger ale, non-alcoholic. So, back to OJ.
Then there's something wrong with you. You're certainly not very good.
He is not wrong. Because I went off script like a long time ago when I hit my grandpa. Okay. So, my grandpa once said, he's a good guy, he has good stories. He said he killed an orangutan. When he lived in Beloit. So, I have no idea how you killed an orangutan. Really? So my grandpa, let me tell you a story of my goats. Alright? So I had two pet goats, Hamilton and Connor. Named him Connor because greatest of all time, Goats. So I had two Goats. Hamilton because I was obsessed with Hamilton. Oh, is it too quiet? Oh, my bad. Especially yelling over here, spatting everywhere. Jello. So I had 2 goads. Hamilton and Connor said that, boom, boom, boom. Okay, the reason why we got goads, all right, it was, my grandpa was like, you know what I haven't done in a long time? I haven't killed a goad. And we were like, all right, we'll get you, my mom was like, you know what, we'll get him a goad so he can relive his days when he was in Mexico. And it just happened, my birthday was coming up. So we're like, we'll get it April 7th, your birthday. And I was like, all right, sounds great. I don't really care. So we got these goats. The plan was, we were gonna kill these 2 goats, and we were gonna eat these 2 baby goats too, the adult ones and the baby ones. After I had the baby one, I didn't care. We're like, we're gonna eat these, yum, 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 rub-a-tum-tum. So we got back to the house. I was just gonna use the goats for one thing, and then I asked this one girl to prom, but it's not important. So the goats, whatever. It was my cousins and my brother. Him and I were pretty close, and if he was gonna be mad about it, I wasn't gonna do it. He really did not want us to eat these baby goats. So I promised everybody in my family that I knew a place where we could take them. My house. I had talked to a few people, but nobody really got back to me because nobody wants guy goats. I don't know, sexist, I guess. But so we had these goats. We had them living with us for a while. Good, maybe 4 weeks. Yeah, they left when they turned 1 month old. They just ran away. It was a pretty hard time when my goats were around because I would never feed them. I leave them in the cage, so they're probably much suffering. I am kidding. My dad fed them. And we let them out a couple times. The best part was when I took them to the dog park. I took them to the dog park about 8 times total. And the first time I took them, I went with my sister, and I told her, I do this all the time, man, there's no problem. No one's gonna say anything. People who showed up with their dogs are freaking out. Like, how can you have goats here? And I'm like, come on, man, it's not a problem, I bring them all the time. And they were just like, okay. My goats were having the time of their lives, man. They were chasing these dogs. Like, yeah, this big dog was huge. I was scared. I'm terrified of dogs. And then my goats were chasing them because they had little horns. And I guess dogs have never seen horns before. Oh man, whatever. So my goats, I remember losing one of them because the dog park in Milton is huge. There's just one with a swamp, and I lost one of my goats through there because they don't have leashes. Goats don't wear leashes. So I lost it. I was freaking out. So I sent my poodle to go find it. I lost my poodle. it was a hard time. So we sent my sister's dog to find him. We lost her dog, and it was just a complete disaster. So I remember putting one goat, because there's this gated area, I put one goat there, and I went to go find the other goat and the dogs. The goat was in the swamp, just I remember being so like, oh my god, he's gonna die! I just killed a goat! Not another goat, whatever. So, but the coolest thing was my sister's dog. Her name is Diamond. She's this big, what is it called? I want to say Rottweiler, but it's not. It's big cheeks, whatever. Doesn't matter, it's huge. Oh, Pitbull! There we go. She's a pit. Basically a cat, right? So, the Pitbull was dragging the goat out of the swamp and throws him into it, and the goat just like, man, and he got back up and just started chilling again. It was all good again. He got over it real quick. That was my least favorite goat. That was Connor. He is a bow. He made me angry a few times, but whatever. Because he wouldn't let Hamilton eat. When we first got Hamilton, Hamilton didn't know how to grab onto the nipple. So we were trying to feed him, but he didn't know how. So my dad, I think he raised a pig once. I think that's what he said, and he had to teach him how to do it. So my dad was the one teaching him. I didn't know how to teach him. I didn't know anything about goats. What am I, a farmer? I'm not Simon. So my dad was teaching the goat how to eat the milk, and then Connor would just whip his head, hit the other goat, and grab on and eat. I was like, dude, I just fed you. So then we got 2 bottles, and we're like, all right, we're not gonna fight anymore. Either way, Connor would hit him, drink him, go back and forth, and it was just awful. Until Hamilton, I finally got super happy when Hamilton finally learned how to eat. And then they started chewing stuff. They started chewing like our grass and our leaves. And either way, when Hamilton would be chewing the grass, Connor would come and ram him and eat that grass. Connor got really close to Hamilton. You can ask Drew about this. We were making videos. Connor decided to hop onto Hamilton and let Hamilton carry him around. And Hamilton is a weaker goat because he wasn't eating as much as Connor. They were born the same day. But I guess Hamilton's just stupid. But whatever, he was my favorite one. He was cleaner. His name was Hamilton, so whatever. I do not like my dog, Mufasa. He's something else. I don't know how to raise dogs, so like I don't like him. And I just don't. And it was so weird when my parents decided to buy a dog. We were walking out at breakfast and our neighbor had her, like, you guys want this dog? And my mom was like, let's get the dog. So my dad's like, all right, we'll get the dog. And I was just like, what is going on here? Dad, you hate dogs. Mom, you can't touch animals. And we're getting a dog. And they had just promised me to get a tortoise. So the tortoise is gone. And we have the cage, not the cage, the aquarium for the tortoise there in my house. Empty. There's no tortoise. There's just a toy Leonardo from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. He's just chilling in there. I haven't seen the aquarium in a long time. And now we have this dog. He's ran away so many times. It's not even funny anymore. Like, oh my gosh. The other day, I let him out. He was on his leash. I was holding him, and he pulled so much. I was transferring my hand, and that was his time. He knew it was time. When I was transferring the leash to my other hand, he decided to jump and run super far. And I had to go chase him. I had to get in the car and chase the guy. But no, the worst part is when we don't notice he's gone. I would arrive from home and I'll be like, where's Mufasa? My mom's like, oh, he's outside. I'll look outside. No, he's not. And we would start freaking out. And my mom would get so mad, like, why are you running away, dog? And like, we'll put him in the cage. And I'm like, well, that's why he runs away. But we don't know anything about dogs, honestly. I don't know why we got a dog. Mother, hint, get rid of the dog. But yeah, I have this horrible fear of butterflies. It's so weird. Heights and butterflies. We went to New York. We went to the Rockefeller on top, and all the way to the top. Worst event happened. We're so high. I mean, we have the glass walls there, but we're so high. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I could die right now. Nobody would be the wiser. Just kidding. And then I was like, okay, whatever. A butterfly decides to fly behind me, and I hit the glass, fell back, and I was like, oh my god, I gotta leave New York. I'm gonna die here. So my brother and I, we do some weird stuff. My brother and I, we had catchphrases when I was younger. He lived with me. 6th grade, my favorite catchphrase that my brother and I created was Jamal. Jamal. We would just say it randomly too. Like it had no meaning. So I'd just be sitting there and a teacher would be talking, and I'd be like, Jamal! They'd be like, okay. People in my class hated it. My secretary teacher, I remember her telling me, you gotta get everyone in the joke or you can't say that word anymore. So we made a new one. And a Wookiee. All our words we created were from songs by Michael Jackson. Because he would sing Any Are You Okay super fast where it would sound like an Wookiee. So my brother and I did that. And Michael Jackson had his vocal warm up, and that's where we get Jamal from. Now, my brother has this new one a couple years ago that I say nonstop. I only say it when I speak Spanish. It's so weird. It's puss. Puss. P-O-S-S. Puss. And that's like when something good happens. Puss. Like, Tony, you're very handsome. Puss. But it only happens when I'm speaking Spanish. English. I have this cool thing where I do R-O-R instead of L-O-L. Rap out loud. That came to me when it was 2009. My brother has showed me this greatest video that changed my life forever. The guy's name, he's the most famous YouTube person you've never heard of. Peter Chow. Oh my gosh, this guy's hilarious. I would recommend watching him, except he swears a lot. He's very racist, so beware of that. Peter Chow, he's also known as a Chinese guy. And basically his humor is what my brother and I started doing everywhere. So, this Chinese guy, he likes to, whenever it's an L word, he likes to replace it with R. So my brother and I started doing that for the longest time. So instead of lollipop, rari-pop. What other L word? Ruser. When we get to L for the alphabet, and we just replaced every L word with an R. It got so bad when we started talking about our family, and then we started slurring all our words. So instead of mom or mother, I I'd say mazapan. My dad, Mufasa. It's just because I started slurring words, and my brother and I pretended we were Russian. So we just put a V in front of everything. Venvava. Let's go out. Yeah, nobody would understand us. And then it got to the point when my brother and I didn't understand each other, so we started getting mad. Like, dude, start talking right, man. We started punching each other. And yeah, my brother, he's about, I think he's 23. Mother, how old is he? 23? I should know that he's my brother. He doesn't know how old I am. But whatever, he's 23. When I was in 4th grade, he was a freshman. When I was in 5th grade though, he was in 10th grade, obviously. That's when I started getting bigger. That's when I started becoming a bigger person, and my brother started getting slimmer. I started being able to beat up my brother. We started shoving each other. At the time, he could still hit me like no other. It was awful. It wasn't until recently, actually 8th grade, when I finally could beat up my brother. We were in my mom's bedroom. We were talking about the Power Rangers. And I said the Green Ranger could beat up the Red Ranger any day of the week. My brother did not take that lightly. I don't know what happened. We just started jumping at each other, just going at it. It's like my grandpa. The whole house, I remember, started shaking. My dad was in the computer lab downstairs, and he heard all the rumblings. So he ran upstairs, thought we were having a heart attack and a seizure again, and he went to go check on us. He sees me jumping on my brother in his room, on the floor, and the lamp had fallen and hit everything. So that's what all the noise was making. Yeah, my brother's a weird guy. He likes to date married people. My brother, he's a smart guy. He's kind of like me though. We're just lazy. Very much so. My brother could have done a lot of stuff, but he's been there for me for everything except for today, because he just woke up. My favorite story makes my brother so angry. He dressed like a girl once, and I like to bring it up. I wasn't even I was so young, I can't even remember that. I just remember seeing a picture of it. My brother dressed like a girl, and he used to get so mad. Until he started, and then I stopped. And he started telling people, whoever came over, did you know Tony didn't stop using diapers till he was 9? Oh, he started a whole new thing. Oh yeah, I wish I could say I was lying about that.
I have a wonderful family.
I do. Let me talk about my sister. My sister Brenda. Actually, her name is Brianda. For the longest time, I pronounced it Brenda. So now when I call her Brianda, she gets mad. My sister gets mad about everything. But when she gets in awkward positions, she wants us to sympathize with her. I love her, so I hope she doesn't get mad about this story. But the other day, I understand my sister. We went to church with my family and my sister, and she brought her husband, because he's family. So we were on our way there, we got there. My sister and I ran in there first. The most awkward thing happened. Her ex-boyfriend was there. And, oh my gosh, it was crazy. We remember looking at this guy, and I looked at her, laughed, and ran out the door. And then my sister followed, and then we went to go tell my brother and her husband, and they're like, why are you guys acting like little kids? And they just got mad and just get over it. But I understood my sister. Obviously it's an awkward situation. But when I want her to sympathize with me, I do not get it. 8th grade, the saddest moment of my life. Alright, there was this thing called show choir that I tried trying out for. I thought I was so in. I made one of this kid named Kate Stowe. I was like, dude, you're never gonna make it in. You can't dance, you can't sing. I can't do those things. I don't know why I was so cocky. There was no reason for me to be so cocky. I was only doing choir for 3 years. But Kate actually did stuff. He did forensics, he did a lot of plays, musicals. So he was good at that stuff. I am not. So the song I prepared for my audition was 433. I can tell that none of you guys know what that means. 433 is a song I purchased freshman year. It stands for 4 minutes and 33 seconds. Here, let me play it actually. Sorry. I'm gonna play the whole song, I promise. Okay, shh. Starting. Alright, that was just the intro. The song is 4 minutes and 33 seconds of pure silence. Miss Wixer did not like that. We had to prepare a hip-hop song. That song, actually, John Cage performed it. It was a really good concert. My money's worth $50 a ticket. Okay, so I didn't make the show choir, and I told my sister I wanted to go talk to her. I was like, because I thought she's a woman, she can like be nice to me. Sorry, women. So I was talking to my sister, and I was like, dude, I didn't make show choir, and I was like, I'm crying like a little girl. I didn't make show choir. My sister was like, shut up and get over it, grow up, no one's gonna care. And I'm just like, okay, and I walked over to my brother, I didn't make show choir, and he hugged me, and I was like, dude, it's gonna be okay, don't worry, you can wrestle. I was like, I'm not gonna wrestle in high school, what, it's crazy. Yeah, I wrestled in high school. my brother, he's the one who actually got me to wrestling. It's a funny story. So, we were fighting, and all of a sudden when we were fighting, I grabbed him, and I pushed him down to the ground. He's like, whoa, dude, you should wrestle. I was like, you really think so? And he emailed Wikes to talk to me. And Wikes got me to wrestle in my 7th grade year. And I've wanted to quit ever since. Okay, so back to my sister being super... Actually, show choir auditions. Okay, so 8th grade, I remember running out there and going to look at the names. And I remember running there, looking up and down. I looked again, looked again, looked again. Just to see my name wasn't there. And I was like, oh my gosh. How could I not make it? So I walked away, and then it hit me. I was like, dude, I was looking at an octave, all girl group. It was like, I look at correlations list. Of course I made a correlation. I looked again, looked one more time. And then I was like, maybe I'm a soprano? And I looked again. I didn't make it. Yeah, basically, because I can't dance or sing. So, that's a big, I guess it's a big part of show choir. So, I'm glad I finally made it. But it's whatever, I'm probably gonna quit though. That's what I've been doing recently. Quit everything. Okay, so we're gonna end this show now, because I promised 45 minutes and it's like 7:30. It's almost past my bedtime. Okay. I was so nervous, I wasn't gonna be funny. I started watching these comedians. I looked up bad comedians. And there was this Russian dude. Oh my gosh, he inspired me. He inspired me to do something crazy that I wasn't allowed to do. This guy, wait, what is it? What? I'm not gonna do it. Whoa. Okay, Drew. I remember, so he's in a bar, he's performing. He runs to the stage and just removes his shirt and yells, Mother Russia! Turns out he's not Russian at all. He was born actually in Illinois. Alright. I almost did that. Churchill gave me good advice. He said, nobody's laughing, get naked. They'll have something to laugh about then. And I was like, Churchill, let's do it together. Alright, everybody, thank you for coming. I'm so glad you guys came. For people who don't know me, I'm glad you came. For people who do know me, I am surprised you came. Thank you very much, and have a great night, guys.
I'm Donald Trump, and I approve this message.